Hello, and welcome to Conty Chat. My name is Diana Hashim, and I will be your host for today. What's up? So today is incredibly exciting, but first and foremost, you guys can watch us live on Saluran Berita RTM channel 123, ContyNews, Facebook, as well as YouTube. And remember to follow us on all of our social media accounts at Conty Chat. And speaking of social media, that's exactly what we're going to talk about today, specifically in regards to chasing virality and ethics. Where does one draw the line? If you ask me, I have absolutely no idea, but luckily I've got a couple of guests with me right now in the studio. I'm chatting with Ryan Howlett and Arif Young. Hello. What's up? How you guys doing?
Very good. Very good.
Yeah, cool. Okay, thank you so much for coming and joining us for today, because we're talking about chasing virality as well as ethics. Now, bearing in mind this particular topic, we are trying to focus on people aged between 12 to 15 years old, and I air quote, this is more of the impressionable age or even the finding yourself age, and they spend a lot of time on social media consuming content, and that's give and take about 20.5 hours online on an average. It's absolutely ridiculous. We've only got 24 hours a day.
What, in a day?
Apparently this is what the survey says. It's madness, isn't it?
Sleeping for 4 hours a day.
I don't even know, man. It's quite crazy, but it's loaded with information, and a lot of people take for granted that content not only can entertain you, it could educate you, but more importantly, this is the part where it's like, people really tend to forget, is that it can also inspire you and also sort of influence you to doing those things. So we see people putting up videos of, say, for example, that could cause harm if you do some crazy tricks on TikTok, for example, or otherwise you might have someone coming up with some silly content where you just make fun of yourself, poke fun at others perhaps. But we look at, where do you draw the line when it comes to ethics? So I'm going to find out from you guys first. For the benefit of the audience, we want to know, as content creators, because you guys are prominent in the scene and you've done so many things online, what is usually the thought process or the work process of creating content in the first place?
It's quite a simple process. It's I think maybe people see the content and think there must be like brainstorming behind it and you're thinking about it for a long time, but for me it's super simple. You get inspired by something when you're out and about or walking around, and then as you make the video, I kind of come up with it as I go along. So it's like I have a basis and then I just create it as I'm making it, thinking, oh, this might be funny, that might be funny, and do a couple of takes I'm going along, and that's it really. There's not a huge amount of thought process behind it, for me anyway. So.
Yeah, the thing is, nowadays, especially in the new digital era, you don't really need a DSLR to shoot stuff. And last time, I remember when I was in high school, I used to use a DSLR, and then I would convert the file into the computer and then to edit it, and it's really such a hassle. It could take like a few hours to just edit a video. But nowadays it's just using your phone. You can just edit in your phone and blah blah blah, boom, you have a video. And then the thing is, like, the type of content that me and Ryan do, it's not really complicated. It doesn't really need like those extensive kind of edits. It's just simple cuts and the ideas and how we shoot and stuff like that, the angles and stuff like that. So I feel like it's much more simpler now.
Well, but when it comes to the idea of the content itself, ethics wise, what is suitable for the audience? How do you what do you think about that? How do you basically say this is a yes or this is an absolutely no?
Yeah, well, for me, whenever I think of something, anything related to religion or something, I tell myself, would this be offensive, or would this cause people to say like, oh no, he didn't just say that, you know what I mean? So,
oh no, he did.
Parents, oh no, he did.
No, he did.
I'm gonna report this guy right now.
So yeah, I try to put myself in the viewer's point of view.
Sure.
And if I think that it's okay, it's harmless, then I'll do it. If I think there's a slight chance that it would backfire, then I won't do it.
Okay.
I think because our content is comedy, right? It's meant to make people laugh, so you have to be delicate with what you're trying to make people laugh with. I think content in general, like if you're trying to educate someone, you can talk about religion, you can talk about issues and problems, no problem at all. But when it comes to comedy, it's quite delicate. So like Arif said, religion, politics, big no. Don't talk about those two. But that's the only two topics I think of really, like as a no. But I can't really think of anything else that I wouldn't talk about. really, if I was making some kind of
Yeah.
content other than those two.
Have you guys ever come up with like an idea of a content where you really had to sit down and be like, oh, do you know what? This might not be good, or this might be good, that you can share with?
I think I had a video with Mark, and then
It's funny, I had the same thing.
This is Marco D.
yeah, Michael D. Yeah, and then he asked me, "Do you think this is offensive, mate?" And then I thought, "Yeah, let me think for a second." And then if I thought that it was offensive, because he wants to know from a Malaysian's point of
Sure.
view, because most of his content is about Malaysia.
Yeah.
And then if I say like, "Oh yeah, it might backfire," and then okay, let's not do that.
Yeah.
And then we cancel the whole thing. You know, we just wasted a day of shoot.
Oh,
Yeah,
really?
So this is after everything was done.
Yeah, after
and-
everything is done, and then sometimes you could tweak the script.
Yeah.
So sometimes we had to like divert from the original idea.
You're right.
So we think of something on the spot, and then
Right.
if we think that okay, this could work, then we do it. So it basically we think of that during that moment, not like before, you know.
Okay.
So yeah.
So you guys, I would consider you guys to be more like casual content creators then. I mean, like the term casual, because it comes to you. If it comes to you, it comes to you. If it doesn't, it doesn't.
Yeah.
Because there are moments where, I mean, we see a lot of content creators. There are hundreds and thousands, probably millions of them out there, who are constantly like, all right, we have to plan on this month. We have to have at least like 4 or 5 contents, like, videos out, etc., etc. And they want to make sure that it suits their brand and, it makes an impact. So what do you guys actually believe is considered as viral per se?
Well, I think when you get to that stage and it's like you have a schedule and you feel like you have to do this and you have to do that, you lose a bit of the passion and the interest in it.
Yeah.
And I think the thing is with our casual content, as you called it, you get like our personality comes
Yes,
across as well,
yeah.
which I think helps people find it relatable
Yeah.
as well.
Yeah.
When you start being strict with things, you lose that and you
Yeah.
lose a sense of like the relatableness to it.
I support Ryan's because it actually happened to me because previously when I was initially I like blew up, no pun intended.
Kind of a big
Was
deal, by the
because-
way.
I'm nervous here,
was
okay? Just so
because
you know.
of the accents, right? And then so when the attention came to me, I always felt like I need to post something every week, every 2 days or something like that. So eventually you get burnt out. You run out of ideas. So it makes you do other type of content which is not typically your usual content. And then it just makes me, I don't enjoy doing it basically. So nowadays I just feel like if I have a video, I'll do it. If not, then never mind. They can wait. You know?
Yeah. So,
it kind of became like a commitment, you know,
yeah.
when it's not.
Well, that makes sense. I mean, a lot of people in, even in the media industry in general, when it comes to creating presence online, they have to think long and hard, and eventually they'll realize it's incredibly unnatural of them to do those certain things, which is great on the upside for you guys. Kudos to both of you, by the way,
Thanks.
in that sense, because for me personally, I find that, you don't create content for the sake of creating content. You're sticking true to your guns as to why you're doing what you do in the first place. Unlike, unfortunately, some people who may create content because this is like we need to generate, and they don't necessarily think about what are the consequences after that, because bad publicity could be good publicity for them at the end of the day.
Whatever, man, just post it.
Yeah, exactly. Whatever you see is like good to go lah. But in that sense though, like do you guys, what kind of content do you normally enjoy seeing online for yourselves personally? That if you had like young kids walking around going like, Ryan, Arif, like I want to start watching things online. What do you watch?
I'd probably say memes.
You're so mean.
I like seeing memes.
Yeah, I love going through Reddit. Reddit's awesome.
Yeah?
Yeah. I mean, in terms of what's weird about TikTok, especially, like it's all about the For You page on TikTok, right? So it's not really so much about who you follow, because you can get anything on there. So that's weird, because TikTok kind of says, hey, you will like this, watch this, rather than you deciding what you want to see. So I see all kinds of things. I see things with like cars, and then some random kampong thing, and then I see his content will pop up in the middle of all of it as well. It's really like mixed. But in terms of what I like seeing, I do like seeing people like Arif and Mark as well, and a few other creators around Malaysia who make kind of similar content to me, because it kind of things that they say might inspire me in a little way in my content as well. So that's helpful. Not that I'm stealing his ideas or anything.
No,
but it
but
does
you
inspire
guys have
me.
somehow managed to collaborate over time
Yeah, we
as
did
well,
one.
right?
No, we've done 2. Remember the Justin Bieber one we did?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, technically 3, 1 with Mark the first time.
Oh yeah. 3.
Okay.
Yeah, I can't remember.
Well, that's the upside of it, I guess. I mean, when it comes to that sort of thing, TikTok. I mean, bearing in mind, I don't use TikTok. I don't even know how. I only have
you
like
not? Oh,
no,
wow.
because like
Why not?
so far.
Get with the times, Grandma.
Oh, sorry, Mom. I'm sorry. I'm sticking to
pink
Instagram.
headphones,
Thank you
but-
very much. And this is not Grandma. Thank you. But no, I mean, like in all seriousness, I only follow like seal accounts or cat accounts on TikTok. That's the only thing that I know about. And we're thinking specifically about the younger kids, the people who are between ages 12 to 15, the alleged impressionable ones.
Just have to go. We mentioned at the beginning the 2 topics, religion and politics.
Yeah.
Don't touch those at all, unless you're trying to educate someone.
Sure.
And I guess just don't do anything dangerous. Like,
Okay.
because you're talking about impressionable, right?
Yeah.
If Arif goes, I'm going to do a great skit on top of a car
Yeah.
on the highway, like,
Don't do that.
yeah, it might be quite cool and quite funny, maybe,
Yeah.
but yeah, this kind of thing is dangerous, right? So that's really the only thing I would think of in terms of the ethics.
Okay, yeah, for me personally, if you would like to get into this content creating stuff, I would really suggest for you to find a niche, like find something that you're passionate about, and then just be yourself, you know. Well, in addition to what Ryan said, just make sure before you post anything or whatever, just put yourself in the viewer's point of view. It really gives you another perspective of how you see things, and to make sure that you don't make any mistakes or, you know, accidentally post something offensive that could backfire to yourself.
Okay.
But the most important thing is, when you do something like content, make sure that it's you, because people want to see you. Because if you don't be a sellout,
Yeah.
that's what I mean.
I think that's super important. That you
Yeah.
just be
Because a lot
yourself.
of people, you know, like when they do something, they start something, and then they run out of ideas,
Yeah.
and then they tend to, like, you know, divert away from their original content,
Yeah.
which people follow them to see. So that's where they would lose the engagements and their fans and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I think you should really find something that you will, like a niche, basically, like a
Understand.
niche. Yeah.
Understandable. All right, well, we're going to take a really short break, guys. We'll be back in a bit. I've got Ryan Howlett as well as Arif Yong, a couple of awesome content creators that you have to check out. But we'll be back in a bit. This is Conty Chat.
The number of malicious and false statements spread by SMS or social media platforms have become too widespread. The public is advised to be careful and not fall for such ploys and sharing or forwarding such messages. Remember that spreading fake news is an offense under Section 233 of the Communications and Multimedia Act 1998. This carries the penalty of a fine not exceeding 50,000 ringgit or up to 1 year imprisonment or both upon conviction.
Welcome back to Conty Chat. Yeah, hanging out with me, Diana Hashim, and I've got Ryan Howlett and also Arif Young. What's up?
Hey.
Welcome back, guys. So we have been talking a lot about chasing virality as well as ethics. Where do you draw the line? We talked about what you guys thought would be like good, you know, morally ethic posts to post up, things that you consume yourself online, like content you consume yourself online. But now I kind of want to look into creativity, the aspect of being creative without having to make a lot of people mad, so to speak. So it's something to be celebrated, like you're, you know, the way that you think. You are unique, you are wonderful, and I'm gonna, you know, just basically say like, good on you people for anyone who wants to create content and, you know, really just putting yourself out there. But is there something that you feel that we need some, like, sort of like a regulation to make sure that people don't go overboard with creating sensitive content? Like, should there be a PC police?
They're on some of the platforms, it's very good already at catching the content which can be considered offensive or crosses the line. especially TikTok comes up almost straight away with something that might be considered rude or illegal. Or
Really?
something. Yeah, it comes up with like a little warning at the bottom very
Yeah,
fast.
Oh.
And sometimes it removes sound and things like that automatically. It's really fast.
Yeah, it's
really
really
fast.
Yeah. Sometimes they remove the video
Altogether?
Yeah.
Wait, so what do they? Okay, you guys.
There's
gotta
like a
enlighten
there's
me. How
a
does this work?
it's almost like a robot can pick out certain words or actions and it will just remove it straight away,
Yeah.
which can sometimes work against you because you might have
Right.
something which is fine, but
Yeah.
the algorithm or robot picks it up
Right.
and deletes it. So
That's really interesting. Has that ever happened to you guys?
Loads of time.
yeah. Actually, drive.
Bloopers, if y'all.
Yeah, driving's a funny one. Like if you're driving and the car's moving, it will
Right.
come up saying this is a dangerous
Yeah.
act
Really?
performed by professionals. Even though you're driving a
Right.
Myvi at like 10 kilometers an hour,
Well-
it'll say performed by professionals.
Well, considering though, wasn't it TikTok that that viral video, the one where you sort of like jump out of the car and dance in front of the
Yeah,
car with
yeah.
the door open?
Yeah.
It was on TikTok, wasn't
Yeah.
it?
I think
initially.
the last like year or two it's happened, isn't it?
I
Maybe
think nowadays it's more strict.
yeah,
Rather
yeah,
than
yeah.
a few years
Okay.
ago. Yeah.
Probably from like that trend. Someone
Right.
probably got out of a car and got run over by a scooter or
Ooh,
something.
okay,
Like,
yeah.
they thought maybe we should stop this.
But what are your thoughts on that sort of like restriction? Do you think it's sort of like stifles your creativity, or do you reckon it's a good thing?
It can do.
Yeah, it
but
can. Yeah.
I think it's necessary though, isn't it?
Yeah.
So because there are some people who make content out there that is really offensive and
Right.
really against people's ethics. So it's good that it catches that and stops any of that from going through, and maybe occasionally stops the content, but that's not a huge deal, right? So
Yeah, but it's really funny though because like what happened to me was I was just wearing like a chocolate-colored shirt, and then the video got removed because of nudity.
Ah.
no way.
Yeah.
So you
funny.
wore a shirt that basically matched your
My
skin
skin
tone.
color, yeah, my skin tone, and then the video got removed. I was like, why? Nudity. And then I appealed for it, and then it wasn't
They were like,
It
successful.
wasn't approved.
So no nudity.
They're
No.
like, who has a
No.
chocolate shirt nowadays? Come
But
on.
then again, you see a lot of videos like people with shirts off and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Those are okay.
yeah, that's true
So,
actually.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's,
So-
so I think it's the AI, like as you said. Maybe it's like
The AI was insulting you, man.
maybe
like,
like they
straight
need to
up,
fine tune
like,
that stuff. You
This
know?
is the body we do not want to see on.
But I feel like it's really good that they censor all these kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Because TikTok is public, everyone can use it.
Yeah.
And then sometimes some content triggers someone else. You
Sure.
know. So I think that it's really good that TikTok is doing that.
Okay.
As well as Instagram as well.
Yeah. I mean, because from what I know, I mean, like, again, I'm not a content creator. The only thing that I know that's ever popped up for me was this music license is not allowed. Blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
That's where they want to try to remove a video,
yeah.
but never in my life had they ever said, what you're actually posting is offensive or anything of the sort. But I mean, what are your thoughts on social media these days? I mean, how old are we now? Like, you guys are in your 30s?
Not yet.
I'm 34. I'm not afraid to admit it. So,
Oh, yeah.
like,
I'm 29.
oh, okay, that's
29.
cool.
I'm
Cool.
27.
Okay. Oh god.
Yeah, you-
Babies. All right, so I'm the only one in my 30s right now. Thanks a lot. But anyways, I mean, you guys, I mean, we grew up in an era of social media where things were a lot more different 10 years ago versus now. So what are your thoughts on the current social media days that we live in? For example, for the platforms that you guys currently use, mostly is Instagram and TikTok.
Yeah.
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 Thoughts?
It's everyone can use it, like Arif said, right? Anyone can post anything. So there is a risk that the content can become quite saturated if everyone's posting the same thing over and over again. And I've got a bit of an issue with this because there's a lot of content out there, that goes very viral and very public and gets views and likes and comments, whatever. But it's like terrible. It's not good content. It's something super simple or basic, and the content that someone's worked really hard on that is really good gets kind of pushed below, right? And that bothers me because I feel like as a creator, if you make good content and you work hard on it, you should get something out of it.
Sure.
Right? As long as it follows the ethics that we're talking about, right? You should get something out of it. But that doesn't happen so much now. I think because maybe 10 years ago it was more YouTube, right? Was what it was, and content on YouTube had to be better quality on there. But now you've got YouTube Shorts as well, which is basically TikTok and Reel on there. So again, some of the YouTube stuff gets pushed down, and that's the only thing that bothers me a little bit about it now compared to 10 years ago.
What about you, Arif?
Yeah, for me, social media, especially Instagram, is basically a promoting tool nowadays.
Okay.
So because Facebook took over, ever since Facebook took over, they are trying to promote reels more than other like photos or video posts.
Yeah.
So I feel like it's kind of unfair for people who really want to enjoy Instagram for the way it is. So some people just use Instagram to just post whatever they're doing,
Yeah,
like for holidays and stuff like that. But for content creators, it's a bit difficult because we have to post reels in order for us to get more engagements. Yeah, because if we post videos like the Justin Bieber video we did, it was terrible because it was a video. It was more than a minute. So I think that if reels could be 3 minutes like TikTok, it would be just nice,
Yeah, I don't know why they haven't done that yet.
Yeah.
Why they
So
haven't upped it.
what's the maximum now on
1 minute.
on Instagram?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
but TikTok is
10 minutes.
Huh?
Now 30 minutes. You can upload 30 minutes.
on
Yeah.
TikTok.
I've seen people upload a whole episode of Family Guy in TikTok. And I was like, okay, I'll watch this, the new season. I was like, okay.
That's kind of
30
mad.
minutes, mate. Yeah.
Like you can still get videos on Instagram. I don't know what the limit of a video on Instagram is, but it's
Oh,
It
yeah,
used to be
video, it could be,
IGTV,
yeah.
wasn't
Yeah,
it?
it's IGTV. It still is.
which
Yeah.
flopped.
So you actually managed to watch a whole episode of Family Guy on
Yeah,
TikTok.
30 minutes full episode. So I was like, because FYP is like scrolling. I was like in one screen for like 30 minutes while eating or something like
Oh
that.
my gosh.
And then you can save it.
You can
I don't know how big is the file for 30 minutes
Wait.
on TikTok. I don't know.
But hang on a second, isn't that like copyright infringement kind of thing?
I think eventually it gets removed, but I don't know because it was FYP, so we never know.
Hang on, what's FYP?
For you page.
For you page,
Yeah,
right?
basically
okay.
like the
Sorry.
videos are recommended.
Sorry, sir. My terminology is a bit limited edition.
With the lingo, eh?
Yeah. You gotta keep
But
up with the lingo.
They do have like a For You page on Instagram now. If you click on your reels at the bottom,
do, don't they?
it's that.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know what they call it though. It's not called
No,
FYP.
no,
is it?
I know.
TikTok and Instagram are not the same,
No,
right?
no,
So why
competitors.
are they doing that to it?
They basically copied TikTok.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
what I
they wanted
thought.
to stay relevant, I would say.
Oh,
That's why
wow.
they introduced reels.
But it's okay, like for us old fogies, I don't mind staying to like the old Instagram. Old fogies, please, lah. I'm 34 years old only.
Even
But
Facebook.
yeah, but
they
anyways,
do,
like
yeah.
so back to the question, like should there be any form of regulations for other content creators, you reckon, when it comes to like what they want to post online?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I think.
Yeah?
Yeah, absolutely.
How would you enforce it though? Like if there was like on paper saying, do this, don't do that. How would
Well-
you enforce that?
Well, TikTok has their community guidelines, isn't it?
I've never read them.
Yeah,
you read
I've never read them
Don't
before.
sit here and tell me you've read
I've
them.
never,
yeah.
I've never read them, but I've read some of it. Like, I want to make sure that my content doesn't get removed because eventually, if your content gets removed, your profile gets banned.
But does that actually count if someone actually reported your account too? Because
No,
like
if someone reports your account, TikTok itself
Right.
will like take a look. What's happening? How come this profile? So
okay,
many,
okay.
So if they think that it's not gonna, I don't think they're gonna use AI at that point.
Right.
They're gonna use like human beings and for them to judge whether this video is offensive or
Sure.
not, things like that.
Sure,
So
sure.
I think that's how it works. Initially, it will be like an AI type of thing, like you said, but once like it gets more serious, I would say, then someone from TikTok itself will like. They're called content moderators.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what they do.
Okay.
They just look, any reported videos. They're gonna see, okay, this is okay or not. If okay, then
Have you ever experienced that, Arif?
I actually got a video like given back to me, like re-uploaded from the.
Given back to
Yeah.
you.
back to me.
But we
My
do not
right.
want it.
It's my right, So I was saying that, oh, how come I actually like lashed out.
Oh,
did you?
wow.
Like, what happened there? I see so many other videos and you're not removing it. Why my harmless video? And then they say, okay, due to your request and blah blah blah, we've reinstated your video back. And I
Right.
was like, okay, yeah, whatever.
Oh, wow.
But it doesn't
Wow.
usually work though. It's like a once in a blue moon type of thing. Usually they'll say nope.
Yeah, fight the system then.
Yeah, fight the system.
Yeah, fight the system.
Okay, so nowadays we've got a lot of PC police for the benefit of our audience. It is politically correct police, essentially being rather, I don't want to say sensitive, but everyone has different perspectives of what they find would be positive or negative connotation in terms of conversation, topics, the ideas. But in this current day of age, because it's so accessible for people to actually just start talking about their opinions on what they think of a content, what do you feel? I mean, like, do you feel like that has affected the way that you look at content yourself, or how you produce your content? Because I mean, like, kind of like the ethics of chasing virality and ethics for kids, and what you would want to give for them so that you influence them in a positive manner. But what about the people who are just like, oh my God, you totally said that. I'm totally insulted right now. Like, this is not real. What do you guys think of that? I mean, even in comedy nowadays.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have comedians who have been like completely X'd out. Like,
Look at Chris Rock.
cancelled.
Yeah.
Slapped.
Yeah.
Will Smith, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, like, so I find actually as a foreigner here in Malaysia, there's some things that, like, I get maybe a bit nervous if I was to say something about what could happen.
Right.
Because there are horror stories of foreigners who've said something and they've been deported, or,
Sure.
and that's it for them. They're gone. And because I'm building something here,
Yeah.
like, I have to be aware of that, right? I mean, even as a local, you say something offensive, you're still going to get an issue, right?
Yeah.
But it might not be as serious as someone like me as a foreigner. So, in terms of being PC, that is on my mind, especially with like Instagram stories and things like this, which are stories a lot more casual, right? They're a
Yeah.
lot more like your life day to day, I think.
Yeah.
So you have to be really aware about not only what you're saying, but what the people you're recording
Yeah.
are saying, because
Yeah.
that's being published on your channel,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So that's something I'm very aware of, being just a foreigner here, that just not only myself, but what other people are saying
Yeah.
that I'm recording.
But the upside, you get to hang around a lot of locals as well to hear their perspectives before posting
Yeah,
stuff up.
yeah, definitely. And to be honest, that's where most of my content's come from. It's been
Okay.
hanging around with local people from all different backgrounds
Yeah.
in Malaysia, and getting to know them, and kind of it rubs off on me a little bit, and then I made something from there. Yeah.
Interesting. But thank you so much, guys, for joining me. It's been like a great pleasure, and like thank you for sharing your insights and all that.
No, thanks
but
for having us.
My pleasure.
we look forward to seeing more content on your end, which is gonna be hilarious. And look at your inbox while I'll be sending like messages saying "bah" the entire time. Well, okay, this is Conty Chat, and it's been an awesome time with these guys. I had Ryan Hullett as well as Arif Yong, and make sure you guys can catch us again live on Salaran Brita RTM channel 123, on ContyNews on Facebook as well as YouTube. And remember to follow us on our socials, and follow these guys as well. Where can we find you?
Arif Yong.
At Arif Young.
Yeah, mine's Ryan M.A. Howlett.
Oh, what is ME?
my two middle names? I've got very English middle names. Morris and Anthony.
Okay, I've never heard anyone called Morris. I haven't
No,
been
actually, I haven't either, except me. So,
okay. Okay, that's pretty different then, I suppose. But anyways, my name's Diana Hashim. It's been an awesome time with you guys. I'll catch you again on Conty Chat. See ya.